Hello students, welcome to Civics Lesson 3, the Union Executive Part 2. In the last part, we saw the structure of the Union government, election of the President, and the powers and the functions of the President. In this part, we will have a look at the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Who can become a Prime Minister? The party which attains a majority in elections nominates their leader as the Prime Minister. He must be a citizen of India and he must be a member of either house of the Parliament. If he is not, he must become the member within 6 months of his appointment. Now we will have a look at the composition of the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers are the trustworthy colleagues from within the party. In the Council of Ministers, we have the cabinet ministers, ministers of state, and the deputy ministers. Let us have a look at the functions of the Prime Minister. The foremost task of the Prime Minister is to form his Council of Ministers. While doing this, the Prime Minister gives priority to trustworthy colleagues while considering their administrative experience, governance skills, efficiency, and technical expertise. After deciding upon the members of the Council of Ministers, the Prime Minister allocates portfolios to them. A portfolio is a minister's area of responsibility as a member of cabinet. Within each portfolio, there are one or more departments, agencies, government-appointed boards, and/or other boards and structures. Here are some more powers and functions of the Prime Minister. He is the head of Council of Ministers and is responsible for the coordination among the ministers. He can allocate, reshuffle various portfolios among the ministers. He is the leader of Lok Sabha and can recommend the dissolution of Lok Sabha at any time. He advises President regarding summoning and proroguing the sessions of Parliament. He is also the architect of foreign policies. He is the chairperson of Planning Commission and Development Council. He also decides about the proclamation of emergency. His resignation is considered as the resignation of entire Council of Ministers. He acts as a link between the President and the Council of Ministers. He advises the President regarding the appointment of important officials, and so he is also known as the political head of services. Now let us look at the functions of the Council of Ministers. The main function of the Council of the Ministers is to aid and advise the President. The Council of Ministers determines the legislative program of the Union and uses its initiative in the introduction and passage of government legislation. The Council of Ministers also prepares the budget of the Union government and moves demand for grants. The foreign policy of India is formulated by the Council of Ministers, and the emergency powers of the President are mostly exercised by the ministers. Now let us look at the four major functions of the cabinet ministers: to approve all legislative proposals for enactment of government policy, to recommend all major appointments, to settle all departmental disputes, to coordinate various activities of the government, and to oversee execution of its policies. How does a parliament keep a check over the executive? The system of checks and balances is essential for the proper functioning of the three organs of the government. In a parliamentary system, the legislature tries to keep a control over the executive, that is, the Council of Ministers. A few ways of exercising control are through debates and discussions. Debate and discussion among the members of the House are an integral part of the law-making process. These debates and discussions help the members to scrutinize the policy proposals and laws and point out the shortcomings. These discussions are essential for creation of healthy laws. No confidence motion is one of the most effective ways to keep a check on the Council of Ministers. It is a floor test to prove majority in the Lok Sabha. No confidence motion can be moved by any member of parliament, but it must have the backing of at least 50 members of parliament. Speaker decides the date of the debate, and the date of the debate must be within 10 days of moving the motion. The ruling government has to resign if it loses the trust vote. The members of the House can move a no confidence motion by simply expressing, "We do not have confidence in the government." During parliamentary sessions, the proceedings of the House begins with questions asked by the members of the House. The concerned ministers are supposed to give satisfactory answers to these questions. During the parliamentary sessions, the period around 12 noon is called the 0 hour. It is the time between the question hour and the beginning of the rest of the day's work. It is very important because debates over issues of public interest are held during this period. This is how the parliament functions in a day, where it starts at 11 a.m. and till 12 noon it is the question hour. From 12 noon to 1 p.m. it is the 0 hour. During this period, any question of public importance can be raised and discussed. Do you know the 0 hour is not defined anywhere, neither in the constitution nor in the rules of the parliament, but still it exists. Thank you, students.